Hello and welcome to the journey through the Suit of Swords. The last video was just a quick overview on what the Suit of Swords was all about. So today we're going to take an intellectual journey through each of the cards of the Suit of Swords to help understand what they generally mean. But before we do, I just want to highlight one thing. The 4 different suits of the Minor Arcana, they represent different aspects of our day-to-day life. Most of our time is spent getting on with the ordinary routine stuff that crops up each and every day. The energy of those different aspects is what is captured in the symbology and the images that we see in each of the cards. So let's start our journey with the Suit of Swords. Now the swords are associated with the element of air and represents how we navigate our world through our intellect, our thinking, and how we communicate. The swords are seeking to understand life. They're the little kids that were always asking, why? They love people, they enjoy a good natter. But they're also very ambitious and they seek to be powerful by any means. So let's begin our journey. And we start with the Ace of Swords. They're struck by a sudden spark of inspiration. We feel excited by a new idea that is really clear in our minds. We know exactly what to do next. Nothing and no one can stop us, and we cannot wait to share our ideas with the world. Two of Swords comes up, and we have been thinking about this idea. In fact, we've been thinking so much we're overthinking. And where there was one single clear thought, now there are 2 ideas, 2 choices, 2 possibilities. Oh, the decisions. Will it be our head or our heart that win? But now there's a bit of an impasse. We can't see what to do. You know, our swords are held tightly across our heart, closing off our feelings. We know we have to choose. We want to trust our logical mind, but look at that water, the light of that moon, illuminating, telling us that we must also listen to our intuition and trust that the right decision will be made. We made our choice of come to the 3 of Swords, but the pain. We thought we'd chosen wisely, but now we understand all too well that when we want something emotionally, it may not be good for us intellectually. Words cut into us like knives. The truth can be so painful, as well as brilliant. But it's not over yet. We may be wounded, we may be bleeding, but we are not completely broken. The 4 of Swords, and we make a very wise decision to take some time out, to rest. After all, we need time to heal and to process everything that has happened and what we've been through. We lie down, we breathe deeply, slowly, and meditate what has happened and where are we going. This time of quiet introspection and rest is good for the heart and the mind. The confusion and anguish soon make way for clear thought, and then we'll be ready to return. And we're back. We come to the 5 of Swords, but this time we're ready to fight, no matter what it takes. We've been hurt before, and this time we're determined to win by any means and at any cost. But then we ask ourselves, is it worth it? Is winning really all it's cracked up to be if dishonesty and aggression leave you alone again? Is it not better just to walk away from this fight? Moving on to the 6 of Swords, we've been through so much and we've struggled to find solutions. It's time to move away from all that chaos and return to a calmer place. And we set off across the water. As we do so, our mind becomes clearer and calmer. And then once again, we feel that flash of insight. We've learned a lot and we're ready to move forward. So now is not a good time to look back. The pain and the anguish we once felt give way to calm and clarity. We just need to make sure that we're not taking that baggage of the past with us. So we think we've learned a lot. Seven of Swords says no. Our next tactic is trickery. We've added a new skill, so now we can lie and steal our way through life as well. We don't need anybody else, do we? But as we creep away, trying to avoid being noticed, we ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Why can I not face up to what is really going on here? Maybe time to stop and really think, is this what I want? Is this how I want it to be? I need to really think clearly about what I do and how I do it now. We're moving on, and how on earth did we get here? The Eight of Swords see us bound, blindfolded, surrounded by swords. Have other people done this? Did we get found out? And are they punishing us now? Or is this a trap of our own making, with our own negative thoughts? We actually begin to realise that we're trapped by our own thinking, our fears. But if we're really careful, we could wriggle free and free ourselves from these unhealthy thought patterns and move on. Will it ever end? The Nine of Swords arrives and we're wide awake in the middle of the night. Our worries and anxieties churning around and around in our head. Past troubles, present problems, the dire thoughts of the future. We can't seem to find solutions no matter how much we think about it. There's a small part of us that whispers that things won't seem so hopeless in the future, in the light of day. We'll find a way, we always have. Ten of Swords. Well, that's it. There's nothing more to say, nothing more to think about. It's over. We're pinned down in the mud by 10 swords and we feel like we might as well stay there. But look, there's no blood. This pain, this anguish, it's purely mental. But we're not down for long. Look at all we've learnt. Yes, it's been tough. But we are much wiser and more experienced now. So we gather our strength. We rise up and the swords fall off our back like needles. And as we take a deep breath, wondering what to do next, we get a sudden flash of inspiration. The final 4 cards of the suit are the Page, the Knight, the Queen and the King. And when we experience the Page of Swords, it's time to be open-minded to new ways of seeing situations and people. The Knight, on the other hand, has focus, and the Knight of Swords is teaching us to pursue our ideas and how to communicate them. The goal of the Knight of Swords is clarity of thought and single-mindedness. Now, the Queen of Swords teaches us how to manage and to succeed. She can think ahead and achieve the outcome that she wants. The Queen of Swords is never without a plan. And finally, the King of Swords. He leads with his judgment. He's not afraid to think things through thoroughly so he can make the right decision, and he's very happy to offer his advice to others when they need it too. So the next time you draw swords cards in a reading, remember you're addressing thoughts, you're dealing with communication. You want clarity on a situation, and you're not going to let emotions get in the way. And this will apply whether your question is about relationships, work, family, or spiritual growth. For instance, suppose you ask your a relationship question. You ask a relationship question with a friend and you draw the Knight of Swords. Maybe your friend is quite an assertive and likes to get their own way. Sometimes they may act before they think, and you need to ask yourself, is this somebody you want to be around? And if you do, you need to talk. But first be clear about what you want to say, what you want the outcome to be. So I hope you enjoyed that very brief journey through the Suit of Swords. Remember that the tarot speaks to everybody uniquely and individually. Always trust your intuition, your instincts when reading the tarot. Now, wonder, the next time you pick up the cards, I wonder what they will say to you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay safe and be happy.